Hey, so you just bought your crash pad couch and it showed up, so you're ready to kick back in style, you know, maybe pick up your favorite guidebook and start planning your next adventure. But before you can do that, we gotta assemble this thing. So you're gonna find some instructions in there. You're gonna find your hardware and then all your components. And so here's the first two components. These are uprights, and you can tell that because there's this little hole, and then you have these two sets of CNC slots in there. What do we got here? We got some cross beams. There are 3 of them. Actually, there's 4 that they're pretty much identical. The only difference is one has a handle. So that's your handle cross support. Okay, so I got 3 of those and one with the handle. 2 more big, those go with the upright. And you can tell one of them has a logo on there. Your giveaway. And then our 2 legs. Okay, let's dive in. So, first thing, take any leg, doesn't matter which one, find your mountains, and then the mountains are gonna go down. So with the mountains down, I'm gonna start with the handle cross support. That goes in the back. You can tell the back because there's a little hole there, and it looks different. You know, this one's oriented this way, and the other cross supports orient the other way. Get it in the hole, hammer it in really nice and hard, and then just take your next cross supports, hammer it in. This is Baltic Birch. It's really strong, so don't worry about hammering it in or anything. Once it's in, then grab your next leg, and don't try to line it up. Just start in the back with your handle cross support. And we're going to hammer this in first. So hammer that all the way in until it hits and it can't go in further, and then it's held up right here. Then I'll hammer that second one in until it hits this third one. Hammer it in. Whoop, there we go. And now they're all lined up. And then tap it in until it's nice and flush. I'm going to flip it and double check the other side. These are nice and flush. If it's not flush, you know, there's come through, hammer it in place. All right, that's it. Our base is done. So let's do the back support. We have our 2 uprights. Doesn't matter, just grab one of them and find the square notch here. So one side is going to have a hole, one side is going to have that recessed square in there. That square is going to go down. And so then where the hole is, that's our bottom. And then we have a front and a back. And the front has the narrow piece of wood here, and the back is wide, okay? And so since I know this is the bottom, I know this is the top, and here's the front, I'm gonna have the escape in the front top. Just hammer it in. And when you're doing any of these supports, it doesn't matter which way, what orientation, it's all universal. The only one that does matter is this one, and that's only because it has a logo. But I mean, you could put the logo there if you wanted to. Let's see here. And so the next one, this time our square is going to face up. That way both of them, when it's done, we have our squares facing on the outsides of the chair when it's fully assembled. All right, hammer that home. That's nice and flush. Double check the other side. That one needed a little bit more, and then I'm flush on both sides. All right, so I got my base, got my back support. Now let's put it together with some hardware. All right, so the Escape logo here goes down. And again, this is the skinny part, and this is the wide part. Okay, so the skinny part is facing forward, and then pivots down. Here's my hardware. It's just a bolt with a wing nut and a washer. I'm going to take that apart. The bolt goes in all by itself from the outside, and that's what that square hole is all about. That hex head's going to line up nice, and it's going to fall right into that square hole. And then the other side, I'll put the washer on first, then the wing nut. Spin that in. Do the same thing on the other side. And then I just rotate it until it lines up with that square. You don't have to, I can push that in pretty far. If it doesn't go in all the way, you can hammer it in a little bit, or use the wing nut and then crank that wing nut until you're nice and flush, loosen it back up. and then this thing, folds back and forth. You can leave it just like this, or you can tighten these wing nuts really tight, and that way this is, one solid piece. But either way, it's going to support you totally fine. Look at that, we just did it. So now we are ready to test it out. Get that crash pad on there. And I can start planning my next climbing trip, just like that.